Welcome to our fifth SHAC meeting of the year, where we are all about strengthening the connection between health and learning here at Rappaport Academy. Introductions. I think everybody on this call probably knows each other because we're mostly staff members. Ms. Strickland, would you like to introduce yourself as a parent and community member real quick?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
See me?
Yeah.
All right, April Strickland here. I am a parent of a kindergartner over at the Fluid Island campus. She absolutely loves it there. We love everyone there. And I am also, with my role with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, the Better Living for Texans program, I get to offer free nutrition, gardening, and physical activity curriculums. So I have been partnering with y'all in different capacities for the last few years.
And we are so grateful for you and the time that you take and all of your great inspiration. Ms. Pack, we're going to introduce you in a minute on your slides, so we'll get to you. Just a reminder as to what is SHAC. I always like to try to change this picture out. This is a fun picture of kids outdoors learning. Outdoor time is a big part of health because kids are up and moving and doing things and being active academics. But SHACs are a district level committee that assist in ensuring that local community health values are reflected in our education and instruction. They're mandated by state law and are meant to be a voice for parents and the community and a way to share the importance of health at our district. So we do a lot of things together related to health because we believe that healthy kids make a better world. And we're always looking to align our work with the whole school, whole community, whole child model. I know it's just never going to get old. This slide's always going to be here, guys. Because that's the guiding principle of what SHAC should be about. It's not just about nutrition. It's not just about health classes. It's not just about family engagement or community involvement. It's all of those things. And staff wellness, employee wellness is very important too, which is something that we'll look forward to for next year as well. So one of those tenets, there's 10 components of the whole school, whole child health model. One of them is health education, which is really looking at the formal structured health education that is includes the planned learning experiences that provide an opportunity to acquire information and skills that students need to make quality, healthy decisions. Health education curricula and instruction should address the national health education standards and incorporate characteristics of effective health education curriculum taught by qualified and trained teachers. And we have one of those wonderfully qualified and trained teachers here with us today to tell us about our health science pathway at the high school. So we have various other health classes that happen in the middle school areas as well. But I asked Lindsay Pack to come and present to us about what it looks like to do health education in our high school pathway. So Lindsay, you can go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us all about the cool things that you're doing.
Hello. So my name is Lindsay Pack. I have been with the district here now this is my third year teaching. I've been a nurse for 23 years. I've been teaching for 9, and I stay current on my nursing certification still. I am testing for my certified personal trainer, and that is what our kids right now are testing for their IBCs, industry-based certification. And so I am actually trying to get it so I can kind of know what to teach them. I do CPR certification classes. I host the blood drives here. I am the director of One Act Play and a co-advisor for FBLA as well.
You are a very busy lady, Miss Pack.
And we have our One Act Play competition on Saturday, just letting you know.
Oh my goodness, I need to get that out on social media. You need to send me a thing.
I will. I'll send you one.
That would be awesome.
So right now, what my class pathway looks like for the health education is level 1 freshmen that come in. And it's not always just freshmen. It's just their level 1 of this pathway. So if they come in from another school and are getting into the health pathway, then exercise science and wellness is going to be their first level class. We basically go through how the body works and functions with physical exercise, the benefits, how to stay healthy and prevent injuries and diseases and things like that. They do get certified in CPR in that first level. I actually do certification every single year for all of my classes because CPR certification is every 2 years to be renewed. And I take care of doing the seniors that way too. So that way, as a requirement for graduation, they have to have that. So it kind of covers that as well. Our next level is level 2, which is kinesiology. This is going to be how movement affects the body. This is when they actually take their certification for certified personal trainer. And I'll actually put a blurb in about that next slide. Our next level is level 3, A&P, which is anatomy and physiology. That is learning about every body system and how it works together to maintain health and wellness. That's actually the class I just came out of to do. And they're like, thank goodness, because they have so much stuff in there to do. It's crazy. And then level 4 is my practicum. And right now it's practicum and entrepreneurship. And what they're doing is looking at how they take everything they've learned and looking at the needs in the community for health and wellness and learning how to start their own business with health and wellness. So it's ability to push that out into the community.
That's awesome. What are they doing in A&P right now, out of curiosity? Like, what system are y'all covering?
We just finished nervous system and senses and are moving into respiratory.
All right. Excellent. All important things.
Yeah. So growth in the future, the growth of the program itself, we started in a place of kind of like, I don't know what we're doing. We just knew we wanted to be in the fitness area. But the way it has transpired is we have expanded the curriculum in so many ways, and we kind of landed on personal trainer. We were going to do some athletic training stuff, but basketball being our main sport was very difficult for us to figure out how to tie in athletic training with certified personal trainer because the industry-based certification didn't change. So we kind of looked at that, and that's how we came to them focusing now on starting their own business in personal training or health and wellness. As far as the future, the way we see it going is we're wanting to either get some internships around Waco with some of their gyms. I've talked to Baylor Athletics, and we might have something in the works. Sports medicine physicians around town. I've talked about co-teaching with some of the Rappaport coaches and having my classes go in to teach their PE classes. Collaboration with food services so we can get together on nutrition and work on things that way. Me and SJ have kind of talked about that a little. And then we are possibly looking into the incorporation of CCMA, which is the Certified Clinical Medical Assistant, to take it into more of a broader area that these kids can leave here and go for a job. Personal trainer is a very limited job certification. And if we went into CCMA, it would open them up for more opportunities for their future. So we're kind of looking at that. We have not decided on anything. It's just a little blurb in our minds right now. Right now, my current enrollment in all classes is, I say all classes, I've actually got a few more than 60 now. I've had a few added. And then we have 5 certified personal trainers to date.
That's awesome.
Yay. This is just a few of the things around that the kids have done. Up in the very top, the flower picture, there is a young lady that is doing a suture, which is stitches. And it's a simulation that we got to go on a field trip to, and they got to learn how to actually perform sutures. Um, as you'll see, the fun star in the middle is Dr. Ellis trying to do the long jump. They didn't get the picture of me. I actually fell when I did it, but you know. All the gross pictures are they get to simulate what wounds look like so they can show understanding of the tissues and what happens to them. And yeah, we just have a lot of fun
We're
in
really
learning,
glad that
but it
those are
is
simulations.
yeah,
Pack,
but it is a
Pack,
huge yes,
is that what would really happen to me with a pencil? Like that bad?
yes, it could
Oh,
be if there
wow.
was an infection.
What?
If you let
It's
the
not going
pencil
to
in there.
immediately look like that. But I mean, maybe if a dog gnawed on it first. But yeah, so these are just some of the things we do. It's real content heavy, so they don't always get to have those fun days, but we try to incorporate them as much as possible. So,
Whoop, went too far.
and then if anyone ever has any questions or wants to collaborate with anything, I'd love the collaboration. You can just shoot me an email.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions right now or things that you learned that you weren't aware of as far as what our health science and exercise? I keep calling it different things every time, actually.
I think it's just health science pathway.
Health science pathway. Yes, Miss Cotton, your hand is raised. Wow, we're doing a real Zoom meeting here. I love it.
Oh, I want to know with that other certification, Ms. Pack, what could they do with that? Like what jobs?
With a medical assistant.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a absolute great question. So if you become a CCMA, then you are able to be the person that takes vital signs in a doctor's office. You can be the receptionist area. Usually it's a med tech. They can go in and be a PCA at the hospital, which is kind of like what candy stripers or CNAs are in the hospital, but you don't actually have to have a CNA certification now. You can have a CCMA, which is just one step lower than CNA. We actually will teach blood draws and everything so they could work in phlebotomy and a lot of different areas.
What are some of the careers that you hear from students that they're interested in pursuing or programs of study? I know maybe not everyone in the pathway is like, yes, health is what I want to do, but there are certainly some that are excited about it or looking to the future.
I have a few that want to be surgeons and doctors. That's their big go-to, or labor and delivery nurses. That's a huge one.
Gotta love the babies.
I have to tell them though, it's not as happy as it seems. Like it's not just all babies all the time. But I also have a lot that want to be a nurse and they don't really know what field or anything, like, or what specialty, but they know they want to go into nursing because they like helping people. So it's a good path to start on just for them to see, hey, is this really truly what I want to do? So
Awesome. Any other questions?
I just want to say this is an awesome opportunity for our kids. I love it. Thank you, Ms. Pack.
oh, thank you, Miss Thomas.
I agree. I love all of the hands-on things that you're doing. And like you said, there is a lot that they're just having to get. Like there's a lot of A&P you just have to memorize. But, you know, you keep it engaging and fun. And I got to see you doing your CPR certifications. And that's a huge help for helping those kids get a leg up on job applications, on graduating with that. And I always like to point out that I have a really personal story of CPR saving lives. And it's really awesome that even though it's a state requirement, but it's really awesome that we're sending out every graduate with some background knowledge on all of that. And I think that's awesome that you're doing
Well,
that.
and it helps them too going into a career. Like if they do stay in the medical field, that can give them so much more of an advantage over someone who doesn't have it yet.
That's true.
So.
We didn't talk about it, but you have also organized blood drives for the school as well, which is also helping our seniors get their cords for blood drives. Do you have another one coming up?
I do. The
Yeah.
Monday after spring break.
Monday after spring break. Excellent. And anyone can sign up for that if they, like a staff member wants to. And we don't want to take a spot of a student. I get that they're all wanting to do that, but
There may be some seniors that want cords that don't
Yeah.
want to give blood. So
oh, you can give blood on behalf of a senior, right? Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that's so cool. If anybody from SHAC wants to go give blood, maybe if I've been taking my iron supplement, so maybe my blood will be okay. That's cool. If they need someone, let us know. Like if there's a certain number of people that need coverage for that, that'd be fun.
I sure will.
And you guys got like a grant back from Carter Blood Care as well for helping organize that. I think that's a really cool thing and important.
Yes, she said we are on the path to get the grant for this year also. It will probably
Yay.
be presented next year, but
Okay. Is it about
hopefully-
like numbers or something?
it is
Yeah.
how many signups we have and good blood that they can
Good
keep.
blood.
Good blood.
Well,
No
we want
bad
to
blood.
only want to have good blood here. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Miss Pack. That's so
Thank
great.
you.
We're gonna you're feel free to hang in here for the last little bit of this presentation if you have time. But I totally get that you're a teacher and you need a lunch break. So, you know, what have you.
I'm actually going to run back to class before
Okay.
they get released.
Yeah,
Thank
perfect.
y'all.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right. Everybody else stay in SHAC though. Okay, please. We have really exciting things to talk about, like the wellness policy. Yeah. Well, actually, what's really exciting, guys, is we're done with the triennial assessments, and I think we're done with updating the wellness policy. So as opposed to last time where I was like, there's a lot to do and none of it's done yet. I think we're on track to finishing it. I will be sending it out to all of you along with, I don't know, do I need a survey or something where everyone says this looks good to me? Do I need a show of hands? Do we do a yay or nay? Like this is fine. For approving the wellness policy within SHAC. I'm not sure, but then it will also go to the board for approval. So for that, and then the last thing will be working on a wellness plan, which is really for next year, and that'll be something that we'll do after the policy is approved. So what I will say is here are some updates about it, and then we'll look at it really briefly. Mostly I just updated the way that the format looks. I made some minor grammatical edits, like very minor changes based on the conversations I had with our principals during the triennial assessments. The assessments are up on our website already. And those are just like check boxes of like, are we doing this? Yes or no? Are we following all of the guidelines that are in this policy? And if there's places where we're not, those may be the areas that we add to our plan of things that need to be worked on, focused on for health. We did add a whole page, probably more than I needed. I know, Ashley and Yaz, because I was like, well, look at all this great stuff. I mean, we want to talk about all the great stuff that we're doing in addition to saying that it's important, but we added a whole page on mental health that has been approved by our wonderful counselors and Dr. Newman, who's read through it. So that's probably the biggest change, really, to the whole wellness policy. The rest of it, there's so much that has to do with various kinds of nutrition. There's a lot about PE. Ms. Hernandez and I have talked about making sure that all our guidelines for wellness as far as like, you know, sickness and fevers and things like that are something we're going to add to the website. I don't know that that needs to be in the wellness policy specifically, but that is something that we're going to work on trying to get updated over the summer so that we're not kind of changing things mid-year on what parents expect. So we're going to make sure that all of that also aligns with, what's the code called?
I just say the TAC, but the Texas Administrative
The
Code.
administrative code. Okay. I don't think that there's anything in here that needs to change with that, but that is something that we're just trying to make sure. Again, the whole point is to make sure that things are communicated well and clearly, and that we make sure that what we're doing, what we say we're doing, right? That way families aren't like being told one thing at one campus and something else at another. So you can view the wellness policy if you want to. It is in a Google Doc. Can y'all still see this tab? I just switched. Yes, good. So I'll be sending this out to everyone, but again, a lot of it has stayed the same with minor changes. I think I added information about how Secondary schools have a 20-minute break time because there was only mention of recess for elementary. So I made this recess and breaks. And then I think we added this whole page on mental health, which is really, really great and is important to keep central to what we're doing. And I think the only other thing was something along the lines of like, well, there's a whole very specific policy about how we will not take away PE. I'm sorry, just scrolling like crazy here. Will not remove PE as a punishment. So making sure that that was very clearly spelled out, but that it might mean if you're, you know, not having good behavior, you might not have free will choice for what your PE looks like. So that was the only thing that changed. It's not because our principals were like, well, it's not that they never lose, not PE, but breaks. It's not that they never lose breaks because of behavior. It's just that they don't get to choose what they're doing during their breaks. So they're not just free play, having a good time. They may be physically helping our custodians do things as a part of their break. So we edited that language just a little bit. So that, because otherwise we couldn't say we're not taking away breaks. We're not, they just don't get to choose what their breaks look like specifically. That doesn't mean that they are sitting down and unable to move. So that's the wellness policy. I'm feeling pretty excited about it. We're going to be presenting it to the board in April, along with just other things that have happened in SHAC this year. So, and I need to get family feedback, which I'm sure we'll put out in the newsletters once with both the wellness plan and the assessments. So that if any parents who have not been able to make a meeting or anything like that want to give feedback, they can. All right, we're excited to announce we have a new food service director, and I was hopeful he could join us on the call today, but you know, these always happen at lunchtime. And I think this is his first full week, or maybe last week was his first full week. So Chef Nate has a lot of culinary experience, and I'm very excited to see what we can do in the realm of, you know, getting kids excited about taste testing new foods, being interested in more fruits and veggies, having hopefully maybe even a student, you know, feedback groups on meals and things like that. So I hear that he's really excited to bring his expertise to our school. And he's just started, but if you have a chance to go by and meet him, I think that'd be great. So Chef Nate, and I would say he could answer questions, but he is not here today. That's all right. I actually haven't met him yet either, but we've emailed. It's fine. Next thing on our agenda before we get to any updates that people have is we are hoping to host not just Fruit and Veggie Day, but Fruit and Veggie Week. Get excited for the first week of April / very last day of March. So it is designated by the Texas Department of Agriculture, I think, and TEA. It's called Fruit and Veggie Day is a thing that we are expected to observe. So unfortunately, the first Friday in April is a staff development day for us. So that's why April Strickland and I met earlier this week to talk about some ideas, just because she's got a wealth of knowledge and info with what she does for Better Living for Texans. So we're hoping to do like a Taste the Rainbow fruit and veggie tastings at various campuses. It might be that we go, right now our plan is to hopefully do things at each campus one day of those 4 days. So like a day at Mac, a day at FLU, a day at middle school, a day at high school, where we're providing some information and some opportunities to taste test and things. But then I also wanted to put together you know, little worksheets that elementary students could do about fruits and veggies and wellness. I know you guys do morning meetings, Miss Collard. You get to be, because you're my one dean of students here, maybe a morning meeting slide about a fruit or a veggie and what it does for your health, what it does for your brain, what it does for your heart, that kind of thing. So easy to implement things. And having something at each location. So I'm hoping to meet with deans of students to kind of hash that out as far as like, I think it's early enough that we're not interrupting testing. It would be something that would happen during the lunchtime break time hour. Although I would really like to get some fun fruit and veggie headbands or costumes or something for carpool. I'm just saying, you know, like we need to be like all in for fruits and veggies. And just kind of make, and maybe even some, we talked about even some dress up days. Like if we're going to talk about red fruits and veggies on Monday, everyone can wear red, like a very easy dress up day. As a mom of 3, I don't need people having to dress up as their favorite fruit, maybe. But if we're doing different colors and talking about how those types of fruits and veggies affect our bodies and help us feel well, that was another idea that we went over. Does anyone have thoughts on Fruit and Veggie Day, or would like to be involved in Fruit and Veggie Day planning, or want to sign up to be a strawberry or a banana or a broccoli at Carpool?
I'm totally down with slides and making those for morning meeting. Could I know maybe I could match the week by knowing which color, match the day by knowing which color on each day, and I could talk about that color.
Yep, absolutely.
Or like however y'all want me to do it, but I would need to know as soon as possible, so I make the slides in advance.
Sure, absolutely. So
Okay.
Miss Strickland has a lot of really great very information rich PDFs about different fruits and veggies already. So we're hoping to pull some of the content off of that and put it into a slide that could be shared district wide to make it really easy. So
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
yeah. Anyone else? Other thoughts on Fruit and Veggie Week? The cool thing is that will culminate on that Thursday, April 3rd, which is our last SHAC meeting. So maybe we'll have a fun fruit salad together, guys. And that would be like after we will do something for the middle school that day, earlier before the SHAC meeting. So and then we've also talked about, and I'm going to talk with some of our other health classes about Miss Strickland coming in to do a short program with them for, it's called Walk and Talk, where they get to try different fruits and veggies and do a walking program. And it's a 4-week one, which would be great. So I'm going to be chatting with a couple of our middle school teachers to see if they want to basically have a guest teacher for 4 days out of 4 weeks to come and do this program with them, and they get a certificate when they're done with it. So it's kind of another cool program. But for next year, that's not on the slide, is that I'd love to do a Walk Across Texas challenge for staff in September when the whole city is doing that. So I think that would be a really fun thing that we could do. That would be a staff-focused wellness activity where you can have teams of up to 8 and over 8 weeks. You try to collectively walk 832 miles. We got teachers who are up and walking all over these campuses, but I thought it would be fun to do that. And Miss April is going to help us kind of get connected with that. So we might have like teams from different campuses see who can get to the 832 miles the fastest. So that's a fun idea for next year. Caller, you trying to unmute?
Secondary would win.
Okay, all right.
Yep, for sure.
I think this is my last health initiative, just talking about, I don't know if it's specifically health. I think it is. We are working with Keep Waco Beautiful, the National Women in Agriculture, and the Waco Downtown Farmers Market with our Ravens Go Green Middle School Club. So we just started this in the last 2 weeks. They're going to be going across the street to Garrison to do a little garden. And then they're planning to sell their produce at the farmer's market once things are growing. So that's a fun partnership that we have led by Trisa Brigham. She's coming in and doing all of the hands-on classes with the students. And that's with Mr. Jorgensen and Ms. Molina in 5th grade. So they have a club already that's established, and they're going to get to go do that. So hopefully I'll get some fun pictures of them out gardening. We're supposed to be doing that next week. They're going to go prepare the beds, and then they're going to be planting some seedlings and things like that. So that's just a fun thing that's happening. So other updates from people on the call on anything health related? We done to, okay, there we go. Make this bigger. Anything from counselors or our nurse about, I know you've been doing a lot of screenings, Ms. Hernandez. Are we getting close?
Yes, the screenings are about 99% done.
That's
It's just-
amazing.
yes, it's been a long journey. But it's just the last ones who were either absent on the days that I've been on campus, their campuses, finishing those up. But now we're into our reviewing our 7th grade shot records, and we've got a couple. We've got a
I did wonder about vaccinations and how things were going for that.
yes, they are going. I think only have a couple. I've reached out to all the parents whose students are not in compliance right now, and they are working on them. So we should have those completed before next week because we do have a deadline by next Friday. So
Oh, okay. And so you're following up. Are you using Parent Square at all, out of curiosity?
no, I just call.
Okay. For vaccinations. Okie dokie. Anything from our counselors or a parent liaison on health related things? Okay. Well, guys, our next meeting is April 3rd, and hopefully we're going to meet in person. I will give more details about that as we get a little closer. It's meant to be kind of a celebration of like, yeah, we did it, SHAC year 2024, 25, and Fruit and Veggie Week. So you bring the fruit costumes and I'll meet you there. Thank you all for your time and for your commitment to health and wellness here at Rappaport Academy. Y'all are rock stars and I appreciate you.
Thank you.